Are you in the room?
I'm on your YouTube channel. I see nothing.
I'm live again. Krista says she's back. Did you go off the channel completely and go back in? There we go. Hello, people. I know Alyssa asked a question. I saw part of that question, Alyssa. You have to ask me a direct question, Alyssa. I'm not what they call psychic. I don't just know things about you and your boyfriend. So you would have to ask me a direct question and then I can get an answer for you. There's a difference between psychic mediums and psychics and mediums. We're all different. We all have different gifts, different ways. So if you ask me about your, I can't just pull something out of the air for you and Jordan because I saw that part. So you would have to ask me what's going on with you and Jordan, or what would you like to know about your relationship? That type of thing. Deborah is back. No, they do not wait for you. Because like I said, we all come back into the same family circle. We just come back in at different times. That's pretty simple. It's just hard to think about at first, but they're not waiting for you to be their mommy. They may come back in as your sister. They may come back in as a brother, a father, a mother, a son, another close relative. They don't wait. They come in when it's time for them to come in and to fulfill a purpose in that particular body that they're going into. Does that make sense, or do you need me to elaborate a little bit more? Taking a drink of some root beer water. The only time that souls have to come back in, also, Krista, is if they have fulfilled their purpose or not. If they have fulfilled their purpose, they don't have to come back in. That's the beauty of all this. You don't have to come back if you fulfill your purpose. You get to stay in heaven, or you can come back here and be a spirit guide for someone. You're here now because the other times that you were here, you didn't fulfill your purpose. It's important for you to fulfill your purpose. And your purpose isn't, oh, it's my job, it's some super spectacular thing about my job, or it's not it at all. We are here to help each other just for the sake of helping them. Not just opening a door and saying hello. We're here to physically help other people for each other. Pretty simple. I don't do pregnancy questions. As long as, huh? I'm talking to her, Alyssa. She knows who I'm talking about. I don't do pregnancy questions. As long as the baby comes out with 10 fingers, 10 toes, and is here, that's all that's important. Doesn't matter what the sex is. You may want a girl, but maybe a girl's not supposed to come in at this time. You may want a boy, but maybe a boy's not supposed to come in at this time. And that's all there is. Boys and girls. There's not 20 different genders. People choose different genders with their own free will. But you would like to know when Jordan will contact me. How does he truly feel? Oh, so you want to know if he truly feels good about being in a relationship with you. He doesn't. He hasn't contacted you because it's not of importance to him. You can't make someone love you. And the more that you try to push someone to make you love you, you end up pushing them away. Besides, you already know that anyway. You already know that he's not wanting to be with you as much as you want to be with him. That's why you're asking me the question. That's what they're telling me. You already know this about him. Jordan is not a responsible person. So even if he were to be with you in your life, it wouldn't be very long because you would get tired of his shit. You're already kind of tired of his shit, but you put up with it because you feel that you're in love with him. They're telling me to tell you to move on and find someone who is responsible, who wants to take care of you. Because he doesn't. He wants you for one thing, and you know what that one thing is. I hope that's your answer. I know you may not like that answer, but that is your answer. You need to understand that's your answer. He has a lot more than just a lot of inner work to do, honey. He has a lot to take care of that he's not willing to work at. And you wanting to get yourself mixed up in a relationship with him is just not a good idea. He's not the one. You're looking for Mr. Right, and he is what you would call Mr. Right now. And I know there are some good things that you see in him, but he's not really ready to work on them. He's not in that mindset yet. So you need to let that go, and you need to move on with your life. That is what Spirit is telling me to tell you to do. Whether or not you want to do that is up to you. You can use your own free will. But I'm telling you, you're going to be sitting around waiting for Jordan to call you, and that's all you're going to be doing is sitting around waiting. Because he's not interested in that. He's not interested in a life with you. He's just interested in you, if you know what I mean. You don't need to worry if he's a narcissist or not. You just need to move on. You need to stop thinking about what he is or what he isn't. It's not your concern. What he is not good for you. And you need to let that sink in and let him go. I wouldn't tell you this because I don't even know Jordan personally. But you're asking the question. Spirit is telling me that, and I'm giving you the answer. If you don't want to pay attention to what I'm telling you, that's up to you. But I'm telling you, since you're asking the question, he is not the person for you. Move on to someone who is interested in you, who wants to be with you, who thinks highly of you, who thinks highly of the relationship. That's all. Like I said, and as she's telling me now, she's saying he's very abusive physically and emotionally as well. And yes, spot on. Like I tell people all the time, I can't make this shit up. I get the answers. They bring questions in from my mind for me to ask. I ask the question and they answer it right away. So they're telling me, yeah, he's not the guy for you. Is anybody else paying attention to this? Is anybody else reading what she's saying? And I don't even know Jordan personally, but I'm reading him like a book because what I'm doing is it's real. Spirit is giving me the answer. They're telling me you are much more deserving than what you are allowing yourself, Alyssa. You see some good qualities in this person, but that doesn't make up the whole person. And you need a whole person in your relationship, someone who loves you and wants to be with you and cares about you, and you can express your feelings to them and they express your feelings to you, and you can listen to each other and you can talk to each other about it and work things out together. You don't need somebody to be, you're here and he's going, I want to do things my way and fuck you and blah, 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 blah. And you're going to listen to me, but you're so sweet and pretty and I like you, but I want to do this. No, it doesn't work that way. And that's what he does. And you don't need to be in that. So do yourself a favor, separate yourself from him, get him out of your life, and then make sure he stays out of your life by putting your feet down on the ground and saying, leave me alone. I don't want anything to do with you anymore. That's the only way you're going to do it. You don't have to go through hell if you don't want to. All you have to do is stop and let it go and get him out of your life. He doesn't love you, and he's not going to love you. He just wants to love your parts. That's what he wants to do. He wants to love on your mommy parts, your girly parts. That's all he wants to do. And that's not a relationship. That's lust. That's all that is. That's not a fulfilling relationship. I got to backtrack here a little bit because I was trying to get the point across to Alyssa. Okay, so I'm going back. Tammy says, how can you tell the difference between guidance from your guides and your own thoughts? Because when you make a decision, Tammy, your spirit guides are connecting with your soul, which connects to your body. So when it comes into your mind and it's your thought, it's actually only about half your thought and half their thought. But it is your thought. But when you get those thoughts, following through with them is the key. When you talk yourself out of them, then you're talking yourself out of the things that you're supposed to do, people you're supposed to meet. It's more important to concentrate on following through with a decision you make than it is trying to worry about where it's coming from, because it's coming from spirit. Always coming from spirit, connecting with your soul. Because your soul is what runs your body and your brain. As we know, it's not magic. It's like a radio and a battery. And if you put the battery in the radio turns on and works. But if you take that battery out, the radio turns off. And I don't want to hear any stories about, well, I have a plug for mine. Same thing, difference. You plug it in, it works. You unplug it, it doesn't work. Same thing. But all the thoughts that come in are always coming from spirit into your soul, which runs through your mind and makes decisions. That's how it works. Okay, Jordan, no. I think it makes sense. I guess I was wondering if there were some purpose or something in having 2 or 3 or 4 children, like I was supposed. If you have 3 or 4 children now, it's just because you're supposed to have 3 or 4 children. I'm going to explain something to you very quickly so all people can understand. Stillborn babies. Why are they born stillborn? Why are they born dead? Because they don't have a soul in them. That's why. Think about that. Let that sink in. If you're here now, if your children are here now, because they are supposed to be. If they weren't supposed to be here, they wouldn't be. It's very simple. Things are that simple. But people want to make them more complicated. People think it has to have much more meaning to it. It doesn't. It's simple. So everyone can understand it. Don't let people go around telling you, oh, I'm smarter than you, so I know more than you because I'm supposed to know more than you and you're dumb. No. No. Everything is simple. People make things more complicated because they want to do one thing, have control over you. That's it. Let's see. Alyssa says, thank you for advance for giving me the chance to share your gift. You are welcome. I hear, hey, Deb, like a few times, sometimes a day. They're talking to you, Deborah. You know they're talking to you. We've talked about this about 100 times. Deborah is in tune with her soul, which is in tune with her spirit guides. And when you hear a voice come into your mind that's talking to you, and especially if they say your name out loud, you're hearing it because you're in tune with yourself. And when you're in tune with yourself, your soul, you will hear more. You will feel more. You will see more. You will get more information. Because they know if you're on that level and you're able to hear them talk to you. They don't have to just show you a sign of something. Now they can actually talk to you and you get it here, in here, in here. And you pick up on it. You already know that, Deborah. Come on, lady. Alyssa says, no, he is not good for me. I'm working on healing just the thought that he's throwing 2 years away. It's not 2 years. You're not throwing 2 years away. It's a lesson you needed to learn that this person is not good for you. And as long as you learn something from it, it's not a waste of time. It's not a mistake. There are no mistakes. There are no epic failures. People come into our lives for a certain amount of time, and then they leave when they are supposed to. Or you have learned the lesson that you don't need to be with this person anymore, and you leave when you're supposed to. But some people, it takes them longer to learn lessons. I used to work in prison. Those guys, it takes them longer to figure out that they're not good criminals. Not all of them do figure it out. So what happens? They die, their soul goes to heaven or stays earthbound. And if they have to come back, they probably do have to come back and try it all over again. That's all. No harm, no foul. Even if you are expecting his child, you can do the best you can to get him to do the right thing. But even if he won't, don't dwell on that. Do the best you can to take care of the children yourself or with the next person that you meet. But they're telling me he's a piece of shit. He's very conceited. He thinks only about himself and only wants to do what he wants to do when he wants to do it. And you are not a second thought or a concern to him. So my suggestion is if you find out you're pregnant from him, And they're saying you are. But just because you're pregnant from him doesn't mean it will come out. So that's why I don't like to do pregnancy questions. But you take care of it. You be the responsible one because he's not the responsible one. You be the adult because he doesn't want to be the adult. He's still stuck in party mode and doing what he wants to do. That's all. Some people do. That's all. You didn't hear them before, Deborah, because you weren't ready. Now you are. I didn't always have their thoughts coming into me. They just put things in, and then I ask a question, and then they answer for me. That didn't always happen for me either. It happens all the time now. It's I wouldn't call it second nature because it's just first nature now. It just happens. It just is. The thoughts that come into my head aren't always mine. About 65% of them aren't mine. They are mine, but they aren't. It's them. Only about 35% of the thoughts that are in my head about, what I do throughout the day are mine. Everything else is them. And that's increasing. But you're able to get these messages now because you are more in tune with yourself now than you were before. A lot more than you were. You are way more in tune with yourself now than when I first met you. I think I've given you some clarity on some things and to look out for them. And then you go, oh, yeah, you remember when you told me? Yeah. That's what I'm here to do, to help people, to bring them clarity, to help them understand what is happening, what is going on. And what is going on is the truth. It's real stuff. You just have to open your mind to it. And your mind is really open to everything now. Well, now that you don't ever have to come back again. Yeah, you had a married life without the rings, but he doesn't want to give you a ring. He doesn't. It's not a priority. You and your son are not a priority to him. His priority is himself. He thinks about that a lot. He's like a puppet. He's playing the part, but he's not in it to win it, per se. Don't think of it this way either, Alyssa, that you are pregnant with his child. Just think of it as you're pregnant. Happens to a lot of people all the time. So you'll figure it out. You figured it out once. What's another time? I think you'll be, after this one, you'll be very cautious for the next time. Very cautious. Before allowing someone like that to be that kind of part of your life again. Again, a lesson to learn. They're not good lessons. They're not bad lessons. They're just lessons. It's what you do afterwards that makes the difference. Hello, Chunksy. It's one of my cats. No, don't play with that cord. He likes to knock things over in my office, so I have to start consolidating in my office to get rid of things. So again, if you can, anybody who's in the room and out there, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the notification bell. You can also follow me on Facebook. I have a Spirit Medium Daniel Facebook page. I'm also on Instagram. What's the other one I'm on, honey? I'm also on Twitter. Somebody messaging me telling me they're sorry they couldn't get on. No, Chunksy, come on, get down. He's a big boy. He's getting to be big. Someone screwed up her YouTube channel. Hey, sorry. But yeah, you can get me on Instagram. You can get me on, what's the other one, baby? Keep forgetting these things all right off the bat. I know. I should have a list in front of me. Instagram. Which one? Twitter. Why do I? You know why I forget Twitter? Because Twitter is the stupidest name I've ever heard for something. Come on, Twitter means we're all twits. You know what a twit is? That means you're a dumbass. Yeah. So everybody's tweeting. You know, it's just social media. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Patreon. I do videos on Patreon. You can go on there, and for $1 a month or $10 a month, if you go to do the $10 a month on Patreon, every 4 months, I will give you a reading. Pretty cool. But for $1 a month, you can go on there and watch videos, and I teach people about the spirit realm, about the spirit realm world, about this business, trying to teach people to stay away from quacks and hacks in this business, and all that mess. Speaking of which, I was watching again my friend Jean Paul, who also does readings on here. He does them from Thailand, I think it is. And someone got in on his account and hacked into my thing. Well, not, but they answered a question that I was, or liked a question, and I was looking at it, and then they told me to respond to them, and they would give me a free reading. And this happened to me once before. So I said, okay. So I said to them, I will play this game because I know these people are full of shit. Because they're more worried about being connected to your pocket than they are you. They want your money. So I said, well, how does this work? And she says, I'll just give you a reading. And I said, how do I pay you? And she said, well, I take contributions or what do they call it, babe? Donations. Yeah, they call. My wife's in the next room on the computer watching this, and she's keeping up on the questions for me. And they like to ask for donations. And the reason they do that is because then they don't have to pay taxes on it. So I said, well, I'll tell you what, you give me a little bit of a reading. Tell me the first thing you pick up about me, because she said she's psychic. And I said, first thing you pick up on about me, and then I will send you a donation. And she gave me this long list of stuff. And everything in the list was something I was already doing. And none of it had anything to do with me being a medium. Not one part of it. She said I should try to get into business for myself. I already am. She said it's probably going to fail for the first year. It didn't. It grew. She told me that I have all this negative energy around me. I do, because I cross spirit over into the light. And not only do I see the good ones, but I also see the bad ones. There's a cat behind me. That's Pippi. And she told me all this other stuff, but not one part of it did it say that I was a medium. And that's the first, when anyone else who I've met who is a real medium, who I come in contact with, they pick up on it like that. Because they know. Because we know. When I have done readings where I've sat with people, I held their hand, and when I did, I said to the guy, I said, you're a medium and you don't know it. You see things, you feel things, you hear things, you're seeing all kinds of things, and you just don't know it. And he started crying and looked at me and said, yes. I wanted some confirmation, some clarity on it, but yes. And I try to tell him what to do next and tell him and what's going on. And he was so thankful, but I picked up on it. Why didn't this lady pick up on it? Because she wasn't real. Because there are some people out there who just want to prey on people. They'll tell you all these things and they think that you're going to believe them because movies and TV convince people into thinking that we're all the same. And, if you listen to us, we'll tell you everything. It's the truth. But not everybody out there is telling the truth. They just know how to prey on people. They know how to read a person, people in general. She gave me a generalized reading about, she told me I'll make a lot of money and I'm going to be famous. Well, as anybody knows me, and as being a reader, I'm not looking to be famous. I am looking to get the message out there to as many people as I can. But I don't want to be that kind of famous. I just want to help people. That's what I'm trying to do. She didn't want to help me. She just wanted my money. She wanted me to give her a gift. And the more information she gives me, and the more help she would bring me, I would give her a bigger gift. I called her out on it and told her she was a liar. And I also told her that I would add her name to my list of people that I know are liars and are trying to just get one over on people and let people know that not to go and let this person con you out of money, because that's what they're going to do, con you out of money. You got to be very weary. You got to do your research on people before you go out and have someone give you a reading. Don't just drive up to that home that says psychic and go in there, because they're not all real. They're in business for a reason to make a lot of money. I know mediums who make a lot of money, charge $450 an hour. And then if you go 10 minutes over that, that's okay. But you get 12, 15 minutes into it, she starts charging you more. Yeah, I know her. So there are people out there who are like that, but you gotta stay away from them, because they're just going to try to dig into your pockets. Some of them are pretty good. Some of them are shit. But do they need to charge $450 an hour? When you walk up to their house, and if they're driving a Mercedes-Benz or a BMW, go home. Because there's somebody out there who will actually genuinely help you for a whole lot less. If you go into their home where they're doing the readings, look around and see if they have a lot of trinket stuff in their house, a lot of junk in their house that they paid a lot of money for, things in their house, expensive rugs and expensive giant TVs and expensive this and expensive that. All these, what did Madonna call them? What did Madonna call them? Yeah. All this junk, all this, I got to have this and I got to have that and I got to have this. And they surround themselves with all this junk that they know they're not taking when they die. They have to have all this stuff that means nothing. When you see that in there, turn around, walk out. Because they're going to ask you to give them a gift, meaning money, and a lot of it. Material things. That's what I'm trying to. Material girl. Yeah. She's a material girl living in a material world. She's living in a bullshit world is what she's living in. Because she thinks material things are going to make her feel better. No, they're not. Helping people, just for the sake of helping them, will make you feel good. Because it'll give you a good feeling that you helped them, and it'll give them a good feeling that you helped them. Or vice versa, them helping you. That is what we need in this world. That is what we all need. Not material things all day long. All right. Who's got a question? Anybody? Krista an empath? No. Krista wants to know if she's an empath. No. Are her children empaths?
I've heard it maybe, but sometimes I think I have no idea what people are feeling.
Yeah, you don't.
You don't want to know.
My wife is an empath. Yeah, it's a hard thing to be. If you walk up to a place and you feel like all of a sudden the weight of the world is down on your shoulders and you're feeling all these feelings of other people around you, you would know it. And when you walk in, you get all this sadness and angry and happy and all this stuff bombarding you like it's raining on you, you would know it. But just because you can empathize with someone else doesn't mean you're an empath. Just means you have empathy for them. That's all. But I'm asking if you're an empath, and they're saying, no, you're not. So don't worry about it. And you can't just become an empath. You can't go, oh, well, I'm going to become an empath, or oh, I'm going to go to school and become a medium. It doesn't work that way. If you don't have the gift naturally, you can't acquire it. You can free yourself up. You can clear your mind. You can meditate and become clearer and try to raise your vibrations, but you can't just become a medium. I know someone who did that. She came here for a reading and couldn't figure out her own life, couldn't figure out anything about her life, was seeing a guy she was dating this guy who was a complete recluse. He would not come out of his own house. I said, what do you mean? What do you mean you're dating him? Oh, well, we've only seen each other in person maybe 3 or 4 times. How long have you been dating? Oh, 8 years. What? That's not dating. That's strange. And yes, that's the kind and she couldn't figure out her own life. But then 6 months later, she came on Facebook and said that she's a psychic medium. No, she's not. Just because you go to the classes, just because you tell people to live in the light, live light and wonderfulness, and everything's unicorns and rainbows, does not make you a medium. You either have it or you don't. It's plain and simple. I had it. I just didn't know I had it. I was seeing spirit all the time. I just didn't know why. It took me a very long time to figure out why. But she didn't get any of that. But all of a sudden now she does. So, and then she was on Facebook and she keeps wanting me to like her page, but I can't do that in good conscience because that would say I'm promoting her page, saying that she is this, but she's not. So I just go, no, I'm not accepting. She wants me to like it on my Spirit Medium Daniel page. I won't do it. She's been doing it for a year now, trying to send it to me, and I just won't do it because I know in good conscience she's not what she says she is. We can all get messages, but that doesn't mean we're all supposed to get messages to guide other people or to help other people. Those messages are sometimes just for us. And that's what she thinks she's got going on, but she doesn't. No, you're very good at connecting with people. You get along with people very well. But that doesn't mean you have a medium type gift or an empath type gift. You just connect with people because we are all connected. Because we have to remember, like I said, don't bother looking into a family that lived 100 years ago. We all come from the same place. We are all connected to the same family, the soul family. And we gravitate towards one another when we meet people who we are just alike with. That doesn't mean you have a gift. If you are able to have to do that, I would let you know. But they're telling me no. I know you're trying to ask me different questions in different ways to get a different answer, but it's just not going to happen. I tell people all the time, I can only tell the truth one way. I can't tell it 50 ways until one way suits you, meaning don't try to ask me 50 questions to get the same an answer that you're looking for. You're trying to ask the question 3 or 4 different ways to get an answer that hopefully tells you, yeah, you're an empath, or yeah, you have a gift, or it's not going to happen. If you don't have the gift, you just don't. If you're not an empath, you're just not. It's okay. It's not that you have to be. I connect with a lot of people all the time, but I don't connect with everybody because not everybody is a positive person. A lot of people are just negative people. So I'm trying to get my cat to stop. So if you connect with people, that's great. But it doesn't mean you are somebody who can guide them in a spiritual way. You just try to help them as much as you can as being a person for what that thing is, and then move on from there. But it doesn't mean you have a gift. I'm reading Judy Sharp's question. I saw this guy on Facebook. He looks exactly like one of my one son. The picture was he was younger. Everybody's saying they could be twins, but my son is 45 and this guy is 58. How can that be? Because people have lookalikes in this world. We have doppelgangers in this world. It doesn't mean anything more than that. He just looks like him. Haven't you ever seen the doubles where people go, hey, look at this person here. He looks like Michael Jackson. Or, hey, look at this person here. He looks like Bernie Sanders. Or it's that. That's all it is. Don't take it more than it is. Don't read into it. It's not important. Let it go. You don't need to search for greatness in this life. We are all great. We just have to accept the fact that we are and understand that we are. We don't have to be more special than someone else. You're already special. We're all special the same. Just recognize that you are. That's all. But this guy and that guy, does that have some meaning? No, that just means they look alike. There are a lot of people in this world that look alike. Doesn't mean anything. Just came out that way. Panda bears look alike. Does that mean something mystical about them? Horses look alike. Does that mean it's something mystical about them? No. All right. Anybody else got any questions? Questions, comments, anything about spirit you would like to know? You can ask that question. I don't have to do it in general. I can ask that for you. But I will give this another 20, 30 minutes. And if no one else comes in with anything, then I will end this live experience. And we will do another one 1 month from today. So probably at the end of next month in February.
Did you want to tell them what's heading down the road?
My wife,
so they can be prepared? I already told Krista a little bit.
Okay. I'm asking a question for somebody. Samantha wants to know, do I have a gift? What can you tell me about my spirit guides? Well, I can tell you. Does she have more than one? Yeah, she has more than two. You have two spirit guides, Samantha. You have a female and you have a male. They are not related to you. They are just in general spirit guides, and they help you make decisions. The important part of that is you listening to what they say and you following through with what they tell you to do. You're asking me to ask if you have a gift. I'm asking for the third time, and the same answer for 3 times. No, you do not have a gift. Don't worry, it's not a big deal. Is she going to receive a gift? I'm asking if you're going to receive a gift, and they're saying no. If you don't have it by now, you don't have it. I had mine my whole entire life. I just didn't know it. I didn't know that I had one. I saw spirit all the time. I just didn't know why. But now I do. It took me, I found out when I turned 50. But no, you are not, you do not have a gift per se. Doesn't mean you are a bad person or a rotten person or anything like that. Don't get me wrong, okay? Just you're asking if you have a spiritual gift, and you do not. I keep asking over and over and over again just to check, and they keep telling me the same thing. No, you don't. But you do have spirit guides. Everyone does. Everyone has initially 2. And they're just people who crossed over, who have fulfilled their purpose, who have asked to be a spirit guide, and you get 2 that come with you. Everyone gets 2. A man helps you with the more manly type things, and the woman helps you with more nurturing type things, decisions in your life. Same thing with you, Krista. You have 2. They're just general people. They're not, it's not like a family member. You have 2 that come in. Do you want to know you can find out for yourself who your spirit guides are, but that's something you have to do yourself, because spirit guides will talk to you as long as you are in tune with yourself, as long as you are a positive person, as long as you don't have a lot of negativity and drama going on in your life, and as long as you meditate on a regular basis, they will tell you themselves what their names are. But their names are not important. What is important is that you listen to what they have to tell you and you follow through with what they tell you to do. That's the important part. Your grandmother is doing fine, but they're telling me she doesn't visit here very much. She lived enough lifetimes that she doesn't want to come back in here. She's like, I've already done that. I don't need to go back and rehash something that I can't really, because they can come here and help us, but they don't always have to want to. They don't always want to, or nor do they always have to do that. But she's that person where when she ended her life and she moved on, and she said, nah, I don't want to go back and rehash that. I'm good with what I'm doing now. And in heaven, I can't really tell you what they're doing as far as their life there, because it's a much different world. What we would like to think heaven is, it's 100,000 times better than that. There's just more to do, more places to go. You can visit different realms. You can visit different planetary systems and different galaxies. All you want. There's no space and time there. You can do whatever you want, whenever you want, wherever you want. And there are gazillions of places to go. And if they've already lived their life here, if they don't want to hang out here, they won't. They have more to do. It's okay. You'll understand it once you have the time to do that, once it's your time to do it. We're just not meant to know all that stuff, because if you did, you would be focused on that and you wouldn't be focused on the life that you are meant to live here now. You knew all about that stuff the last time you were in heaven, because if you are here now, everyone you look at around here that is here now has been to heaven many times before. They just had to come back and fulfill a purpose. And that's the point of all this. You're here to fulfill a purpose. And you fulfill that purpose so you don't have to come back. But if you're living your life thinking your life is all about you and your self-centeredness, you're completely wrong. I'm sorry, but you just are. And that's the lessons you're here to learn. And if you're just doing that, I can guarantee you, you're coming back. And the world you're going to come back into next, because of the cycle that you would come back into, which would be 80 years, you don't want to be here. You think it's bad now? This world's going to be a piece of shit when you come back then. And you'll have to live through it because of your own self-centeredness, your own selfishness. But Deborah doesn't have to do that. She's already fulfilled her purpose. She doesn't have to come back again. You'll see your grandmother. It'll be okay. That's the way she thought about it. She said, you know what? I did that. I'm done doing that. I don't want to go back there and hang out. I've already been there enough times. I've seen everything there. I want to go see cool stuff. Why not? Who wouldn't? You don't, Krista says, I think I have meditated. You don't think you've meditated. You go and meditate, meaning meditation is you go sit down in a dark room, no one bothering you, no outside interference. You cleared your mind of everything. You have a clear, flowing passageway going in your mind, and things will come through. You can't go, I think I meditated yesterday. That doesn't work that way. Meditation is something you have to do physically. You don't go, I might have done that. No, you either did it or you don't. It's not like you're just walking around and all of a sudden I see something, I think I just meditated. No, it doesn't work like that. Meditation is something you physically have to do, but you physically have to clear your mind of everything in order to do it. And hold on, I'm answering something for, and you're asking me that you saw this person? You did not. I know what you are trying to do, Krista. You are grasping to see if you have something going on here. I'm telling you, you don't. You're trying to, did I see this or did I see that? I know you're grasping at straws, honey. I'm sorry, but you just don't. Like I said, meditation is a physical thing you have to learn how to do. You don't just go into a meditative state. It doesn't happen that way. It takes practice. Which question?
Samantha asked if she had a gift.
Oh, I already answered that for her. Yeah. Do her daughters have a gift? Do our daughters have a gift that they're going to keep? Are they going to keep their gift? They could keep their gift, Krista, if you do nurture it, but it also has to be something that they want to do. So you can't push them into doing that. Like parents who push their kids into doing sports. Well, you're going to play baseball, you're going to do this, and you're going to do that. No, you can talk to her about it and see if she wants to continue that. But that's up to her to make the decision whether or not she wants to or not. If your daughters want to continue with that, they have to decide for themselves if they want to. The only reason they are seeing it now and they are feeling it now and hearing it now is because they are young and they are still a pure of heart. By the time they reach an age of around 12 or 13 years old, that'll either go away or it'll stay with them. But again, that's up to them to decide if they want to keep that. Don't push them into it because you'll just push them away from it. Don't try to push them into it so you can have some special connection to spirit. That's not the right thing to do. The right thing to do is to talk to them about it and let them come to you about it and talk to you about it and continue with it. But trying to push your child into being Wonder Woman or Superwoman or Supergirl, that's not the way to go about it. Nurturing is one thing. Pushing them is another thing. It doesn't make you any less of a person if you don't have this gift. It doesn't make you any less of a person if you're not winning beauty contests. It doesn't make you a less of a person if you are not a professional football player or a professional singer. We are all enough of everything. If the gift stays, good. If it doesn't, don't think less of them because they're good enough for everything and anything. Don't try to live your life through theirs. You're supposed to live your life through your own life. And they live their lives through their own. And when you say confirm or deny, I'm not denying anything. I'm just telling you. You may have heard a spirit come through, but is it a gift? Spirit who want to be seen, spirit who want to be heard, will. People see ghosts and spirits all the time. That doesn't mean they have some gift to do it. They just saw something that wanted to be seen and wanted to be heard. There's a difference. I see spirit all day and all night, face after face after face, thousands of faces. It doesn't stop. When I close my eyes, I see people. When I'm in a dark room, I see people. People who want my gift, they only want the cool part of it. They don't want all the other stuff that comes along with it. It's not just the cool stuff. There's more to it than that. They just think, oh, they're going to be special and they're going to make millions of dollars and go on TV. I'm not on TV, am I? Because I know that's not important. You see what I'm trying to get at here? I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down. I know you're trying, but stop trying so hard. It's just, you're trying too hard to get something that's not meant for you. It's not meant for everybody. There's only, I think it's less than 1% of the entire population of the world that actually has a gift. A lot of the other people are lying about that they have a gift and want you to believe them. There's quite a few of them that are on YouTube that are completely full of shit. There are quite a few of them who are out doing these shows and events saying, I'm channeling such and such, when they're not. And they get all theatrical about it and absolutely ridiculous. I channel. And do I get theatrical about it? No. It's just a message that comes through. I can channel with other mediums, other empaths. I don't choose who to channel with. They tell me to channel to channel with certain people. I don't just go up to any empath or any medium and say, I want to channel with you. Spirit tells me you need to channel with that person. So I go to that person, explain everything to them, and it's still up to that person whether or not they want to channel. And if they do, they do. If they don't, they don't. If they don't, I walk on and go on about my way. That's it. I don't push the message on something. They either want to receive it or they don't. You do. Tammy's wanting to know if she has a main spirit animal that is with her. You do, but I would only be able to know that, Tammy, by sitting with you and holding your hand to see who is with you. That's one thing I can't just do right here. I have to be in actual contact with a person, holding their hand. And when I hold their hand, I close my eyes and I can see who or what is with you. And that's the only way that I can do it. Some people can do it other ways, but that's the only way that I can do it. So I would have to be physically with you in order to see who your spirit animal is. It's the only way I can do it. Oh, greetings from Harv. Hey, Harv, how are you? Harv just came into the room. For anybody who's new to the room, if you can, please subscribe to my video, my YouTube channel here, and like and subscribe to the video. I see one person has liked the video. Everybody in here, if you're still in here, there should be more thumbs up on this video because obviously you like this video. So please, there's another one. So please like the video if you're still in here, because I'm not just talking to people blindly, okay? If you're still in here, you should be liking this video because that's why you're here. And so hit the notification bell to the right-hand side. There's one that says all. Just hit it, and it'll go ring, it'll cling, it'll vibrate, and that'll let you know that other videos are coming. Or you can also, you can send me a friend request on Facebook to Daniel Jackson. That's my name, Daniel Jackson. To see my picture, you would see a guy standing there, looks like me, this face, and I have on a jacket that looks like a skeleton, and I'm standing next to a motorcycle. That's me. That's how you know you got the right guy. And send me a friend request, and then from there, you can like my Spirit Medium Daniel page, of which on both, I always post on the page when my next when my videos are coming out. So that's how you can get in contact with me, or with Twitter, or on Patreon, where you can pay to see videos of me teaching videos there, or on what's the other one? I forget all this stuff because it's so much to think about. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I'm on all of them that I'm on as Spirit Medium Daniel. And the more times that I get the thumbs up for the videos, it enables me to stay on YouTube, because my videos have to be relevant. So as long as my videos are relevant, as long as I'm getting thumbs ups in the video, that makes my videos relevant and allows me to continue to be on this channel. So that's why I asked for that. If you want to continue to see me on live videos on YouTube, you have to like and subscribe so I can be relevant enough to stay on that channel. Oh. Harv says he has a friend who passed away. You need to tell me that person's name, Harv. I need to know who it is. I can't just like, because everybody has a lot of friends, you know. Like I tell people, I'm a medium, a spirit medium. I'm not psychic. So if you tell me that person's name, that way I can find out whether or not the person you know who has passed away has either crossed over into the light or hasn't, because not everybody goes to heaven, people. You either cross over into the light or you remain here as an earthbound spirit. Tammy has liked and subscribed. Yeah, well, as long as that you can like each video that's being rebooted. Yeah, unfortunately, that's not my issue. That's the issue here with YouTube. When I go for such a long period of time that at nighttime more people are on the internet, which thins out the bandwidth, which makes me shut down. So just you can like and subscribe. You'll always stay subscribed to all videos that come on. But when you like the video here, that's enough. If I had to go and reboot, then you would have to like the next one too. The more likes I get, the more relevant my videos will stay, and the more times I'll be able to come on YouTube and do more videos. So with that, did he die? It's hard telling me the truth. So I'm going to tell you one thing, Harv. So I don't want you to take offense to this. So I want this to get across to everyone in the video. When people ask me questions, the first thing I do is I ask if that person is telling the truth, because some people like to try to trick me. And what I mean by that is they'll tell me, "Oh, I have a friend that died. His name is Jim. Can you tell me?" And then they'll try to, and I'll say, and I will catch on to the fact that they're actually the Jim guy didn't die. They're just trying to trick me. And then I'll try to throw that out there. And when I do, they go, "Oh, you're full of shit. You don't know what you're talking about, blah, blah, blah. And I knew you were fake." Well, if I called you out on it and told you that you were lying to me, I guess I'm not fake, am I? Because people try to do that all the time. They try to find out if I'm fake or not. Unfortunately for them, with spirit telling me yes and no answers for things and other answers, I'm also like I have a built-in lie detector test, and I can find out whether or not someone's lying to me or not. I've done readings before where people ask me questions and they were lying to me about the question because they were trying to get an answer that they wanted, and spirit has told me that they were lying. And I said to the person, "You're lying to me. That's a lie, because that never happened. You're just trying to manipulate me to get an answer." And they go, what? And I go, "Yeah. So if you want a real answer and you want the real truth, ask me a real question." I'm not saying that you're lying to me. I'm just saying that's what happens sometimes. But yes, so overdose. Was it an overdose? Yeah. But it was just his time to go. And he did cross over into heaven. And he is back. And he is back for a reason, like I was just talking about. You weren't here for that. Sometimes people come back because they have fulfilled a purpose and they want to be a spirit guide for someone. And the other times people have to come back because they didn't fulfill their purpose. They can come back and be spirit guides for them. And he is back for you as a spirit guide for you. Is he listening? They're telling me that Jim gives you some signs to let you know that he's here. They're also telling me that you pick up on some of the signs and you go, man, that reminds me of Jim. Man, that reminds me. That reminds me. Or Casey, I'm sorry. I was looking at you, someone else's name here. Casey is sending you messages to let you know he's here. You pick up on some of them because he's doing things that the two of you, you're good friends, and you connect on a level where you just connect. You know about him, he knows about you. You're in tune with each other. And so if he were to do something, you would know, oh, Casey does that. Casey does that. Casey did this. Casey did that. You would know that. And that's what he's doing now. But he's trying to let you know. It's more important that I'm telling you this, because he's trying to let you know that he's here for you to help you in your life. He doesn't want you to do the same things that he did. He's trying to tell me to tell you that you guys like to go out and party together and hang out together. And he's telling me that you're following in the same path that he did. It frightened you a little bit that he died from an overdose. But you believe that it's not going to happen to you. He's trying to tell me to tell you to listen to him, and he wants you to get off of that path because you're heading down the same road. Because you keep telling yourself, that's not going to happen to me. I won't let it happen to me. He doesn't want it to happen to you. And he's trying to let you know that he doesn't want it to happen to you. He's here for you as a spirit guide because of that. Because you're heading down the same road he was. And he doesn't want that for you. He knows he died because it was time for him to go. He does know that. He knows his time was, he was here for as long as he was supposed to be here, and that was it. But he's afraid for you because you still do the same things. And he wants to let you know that you got to stop. It's doing detrimental things to your body that you will pay for later on down in life. Physically, pay for. Mentally, pay for. It's not good for you to be on the road you are on now. It's not going to per se kill you, but you are going to have physical ailments later on. They're telling me, yes, absolutely. Physical ailments later on down the life due to the path that you are on now. And he wants you to listen to him more. He wants you to pay attention to the signs and stop blowing them off, because that's what you're doing. You see a sign that you know it's Casey bringing you the sign, and you're just blowing it off. He's telling me to tell you to stop fucking it up. He's telling me you're fucking up. And he's telling me to tell you to stop. He says, He's saying this word, stop doing all the fuckery that you're doing because it's not helping you. It's going to hurt you in the end. He's looking out for you. He cares for you. He loves you. I don't know if you knew that or not, but he loves you. He loved you as a friend, and he loves you now, and doesn't want to see anything happen to you. And he wants you to stop doing these hurtful things that you're doing to your body. You think you're out having a good time, but you're not. And I know that you are doing these things because you're trying to hide some pain for the loss of your friend. That doesn't hide anything. It just puts a Band-Aid on it. It just makes things worse. He's telling me to tell you to stop. I hope that makes sense for you. He really, I mean, I don't know how I'll express this the best way I can. He's putting so much emotion into me to get this message across to you. I feel right now, Harv, that I'm on the verge of crying, and I'm trying to hold it back because I mean, I don't know if you can see my eyes, but they're starting to get red because he's putting his emotions into me to tell you, please, you got to stop, Harv. You're going to hurt yourself. He doesn't want you to hurt yourself. So you got to stop. Krista says, he's looking out for you, buddy. Harv. He really is. He wants you to look out for you. He's in a great place now. He's fine. He is loving his life now. He's actually, like I said, he's here to be a spirit guide for you. So he fulfilled his purpose. Just because he had an overdose doesn't mean he had a unfulfilling life. He helped somewhere down the line like he was supposed to, because that's what we're here to do, help each other. Now he's trying to help you, being a spirit guide for you. You can always ask him for information. You can ask him to help you make a decision. He can if there's something that you and him had in common that if you saw it. Like my wife, she likes dragonflies or mermaids. And if she were to pass away and I said, hey, honey, I need your help making a decision. If you show me a sign of a mermaid, that'll mean, yes, I need to do this next thing. And I see a mermaid, or I hear a song that says mermaid in it, or I read something that says mermaid in it, then I would know that would be a yes. And that's how we can communicate with spirit. But in order to get those answers, you have to follow through with what they tell you to do, because they're trying to help you in your life. And he's here to do that for you. He just wants you to recognize the fact that it's happening and acknowledge that it's happening. And he wants you to talk to him. It's okay to talk to him out loud. He hears you. He sees everything you do. Everything. He sees you when you're in the bathroom taking a crap. He doesn't care about it because he doesn't have to take a crap no more. But he's still there with you. He's still your friend. He still loves you and is still your friend in spirit as he was here. It was just his time to go. That's all. So reach out to him and acknowledge the fact that he is still here and he will help you more. But you have to want to do it. Let go of stress. Can you see stress in my hand? Can you hold stress in my hands? No. Let it go. Stress is you harboring negative energy within you. And the only person who can release that negative energy, release that stress, is you. The only person who can make that stress go away, and all stress is you with these negative feelings about things that you have absolutely no control over. If you can't see it, hear it, feel it, smell it, taste it, or absolutely do anything about it, then it's out of your control and you need to just let it go because it's not a part of your life. And there's no sense in you stressing your life out over somebody else's crap or crap that you don't have any control over. So let it go. It's not important. It's very simple. We just don't see it that way, but that's how simple it is. You can take medications for it, but all you're going to do is put Band-Aids on it. You have to work your issues out. Or you can get other people to help you to talk through those issues. But in order to get through those issues, you have to work through them to release them from you. And only you can do it. I can tell an alcoholic to stop drinking. I can take them to Alcoholics Anonymous and I can talk to them about it. But only they will stop doing the drinking. I can't do it for them. You have to do it yourself. Spirit is not here to fix your life. They're here to help you ease you through your life. As you just said, you're going down the wrong path. You're fucking up. They're not here to fix your life. If you fucked up your life, it's for you to fix it. It's for you to be proactive about it and fix it. But they will try to ease you through it the best they can. Krista said, if we make an appointment for a one-on-one reading, do we come with questions? Yes. And what I mean by that is you write down questions that you specifically want answers to. Write down about 5 or 10 questions, and then we'll go through them. When I do a reading, it's $75 per session. And a session sometimes lasts for 2 hours, and I've had sessions go for 4 hours. And it's still just the one-time charge of $75. That's all, per person. So if you're coming to ask questions and you want to bring another person with you, the other person has to sit there silent. They can't ask questions too. If they want to ask questions, they have to also have to charge that person too. That's what my bookkeeper tells me. That's what I do. Also, when you do a live session with me, a one-on-one, I will see if you need a soul alignment, which means I can see spirit not only everywhere else, but I can see the one that's within you. And if the one within you is crooked or has some deviations in there or needs a realignment to be straightened out, then I will do like a little Mr. Miyagi thing where I'll put my hands on your shoulders and I will straighten it out for you because I can see the one that's inside of you. And as I've told before, the one that's inside of you does not look like you now. It looks like you the previous time you were here. So Harv says, I really have been fucking up lately. A lot of stress have been leading me down the wrong path. Like I always tell people, can't make this shit up. I'll be honest, I've always been skeptical about these kinds of things. I don't blame you, Harv. But that related to me so much. Even him saying to stop the fuckery was totally something he would say. Again, I can't make it up. They put words, they put phrases into my mind. And whatever they say, sometimes I have to ask, is that how you want me to say it? And then I get a yes or no answer. And then I just say it. And if it resonates with you, it's because it's the truth. When I do readings, people always have an expectation of what they want to get out of the reading. And you may get some of that, but you're not always going to get what you want from the reading. You will get absolutely what you need from the reading. And that's the way it works. Spirit isn't going to tell you everything is going to be rainbows and unicorns, because it's not, because we all know life isn't rainbows and unicorns. Life isn't fairy tales and Prince Charmings and all that stuff and glass slippers. It's not that. We need to stop teaching our children these stupid fairy tales about these things that just don't come true, because our children grow up with such high expectations about the world, then they end up being disappointed with their lives. We set them up for this type of crap. We need to stop doing it because it's just not true. We teach each other everything in the world. If people were to let go of expectations, you wouldn't be so depressed about what happens. It's pretty simple. You wouldn't be so saddened about what actually happens than what you thought was going to happen. Because we always like to think through 10 different scenarios in our head, and it usually turns out to be something that we didn't even think of, and it's actually either much better. But we get all these expectations of things, and we think too much, we overthink it. And it turns out being something different than what we had an expectation for. Let go of your expectations, and you won't be so disappointed in your life. I hope this makes sense. Har says, thank you very much tonight. I am going off to bed, but I am subscribing to your channel. And I will eventually pay for a reading when I have the money. Hey, whenever, Harv, it's okay. I helped you now, and that's what's important. I'm not here to make enough money so I can have 6 cars and 7 houses. I help people on a daily basis of, just because I can. Just because I want to, because I want to help people. So the people who will come to me for readings, they're coming for a lot of specific questions. And that is something that has to be a paid for reading. But just general couple questions here and there, it's no bother to me to help people. And I came across with something for Harv that helped him. Like I said, I can't make this shit up. I can't just pull that out of the air. It's coming to me. I'm giving it to you. And Harv just jumped into the conversation. He came in after the 3rd time I had to reboot. Come on now. It isn't magic. And those people who tell you they're magicians and witches and all that, malarkey. Bullcocky. I remember that from MASH. Bullcocky. That's what the Colonel would say. Bullcocky. Yeah, it's bullcocky. There's no such thing as witches. Witches are like me. They were able to speak to spirit. And they did used herbs and potions and all this stuff to make you feel better. They were the doctors of the time who were not designated the doctor. But then people told them, oh, you talk to spirit and all that. The Bible says you're a medium. You're a demon. You're a devil. And they called them witches, and we're going to burn them at the stake and all this stuff. And if they float, they're a witch. Because if anybody, you push them down in the water, everybody floats. Your buoyancy, you just lay flat, you float. Now you're a witch? No. You just float. Freaking dumbasses. There's no such thing as witches. And if anybody says they're a witch, oh, I'm a witch, but I'm for a nature witch. I'm a Wiccan. No, they're full of shit. They just want to be in a club with other people, with other like-minded people. They want to pretend they are something more special, but they're not. They just want to be cool, and dye their hair black and wear the cool, pretty dresses and all this other, and have a hat and stuff like that. They want to be individualized amongst other people. And I'm going to put a spell on you, or I'm going to put a curse on you. There's no such thing as spells. There's no such thing as curses. There's no such thing as sin. You don't sin. Sin is their rules. And if you break their rules, you're sinning. But you would have to live under their rules to be doing that. I don't. Yes, I do believe in God. Yes, I do believe in Jesus. Jesus is one of my spirit guides. Lucifer is an angel. He is not the devil. He is not Satan. There is no devil. There is no Satan. In order for a particular amount of people, religion, to have control over you and have power over you, they have to be able to punish you and tell you they're going to send you someplace. They can't send you any place. They're just people. And they have to have it's a prison, like a real bad prison, which is real bad and fiery. And they have to have a warden of the prison. And they made Lucifer the Satan, the devil. No. They do that so you'll believe it, so they can convince you into living your life the way they want you to live it. They are full of shit. They need to go take some pills because they're constipated. That's what they are. They got so much shit in their ass, it's up into their brain now. Let it go. They're not important. All right. What do we got here? It's 10:51. We got 9 more minutes. If anyone else has a question, if anyone else has a comment, anyone else like to tell a story? I have a story, quick story. I went to this place where I go to a chiropractor, and I did a reading for a couple of people in there, and I was getting a massage there. And while I was getting a massage, I had my eyes closed, I saw this young girl, and she said her name was Kelly, and she had a dog with her name Annabelle. And when I came out of the room, I told the woman who did the massage on me and the other people who I did the reading for in the office, I'm sorry it took so long, but there was a spirit in that room who was talking to me, and her name was Kelly, and she was a little girl, and she had a little dog named Annabelle, and she hadn't crossed over. She was still in the earthbound spirit side, and she was just upset, wanting to know why I was asking her all these questions, because I was trying to get her to cross over, and she just doesn't want to go. She doesn't want to go because she just doesn't want to go. She's happy where she is, and she has this little dog. And one of the women there told me, well, I'd done a reading for her. She said, that's weird. I said, why? She said, I have a friend whose name was Kelly, who died in a car crash when she was 12 years old. I said, yeah, she looked about 10 or 12. She was a young girl. She said, and she had a dog with her? I said, yeah. She said, she never really had a dog. I said, because her parents, every time they had a pet or an animal with them, they always had, a bad circumstance where the pet died or something happened, and they decided not to have any more pets. And she always wanted a dog. I said, well, I asked her, and I said, well, yeah, I said, the dog was not hers to begin with. It's a dog that she found while she's in spirit, and that's what's keeping her happy, and that's what's keeping her on that other spirit realm in the earthbound side. I said, but I will try to talk to her later and try to get her to cross over. So we went back, and I had a chiropractic appointment, and then I told him, I said, yeah, she doesn't want to cross over. She's happy where she's in. And she said, yeah, it reminds me. I kept thinking about that. She said, When I was young, I would always try to feel for her because people do that. They want to see if they can still connect with them. She said, I never could get a connection on her. And I said, you can't because she didn't cross over. In order to get a connection from someone, a regular person, that person who passed away had to cross over and come back to visit you. And they would bring their energy out to you so you could feel them. In the realm of the earthbound, they cannot do that because they are in a negative energy place. The energy you get from spirit who crossed over and come back is positive energy. And you are positive energy now while you're here, unless you're being negative, and they can connect with that. But the ones who have not crossed over can't. And that's why she didn't feel her anymore. She's still around and she's still there with this woman, but she just can't feel her. But she is here. She's okay where she is. It's a negative place, but not always. Not everyone there is negative. They're just scared, or they didn't cross over because they thought they were going to go to hell, or somebody convinced them they were a horrible person or something like that. Or they know that if they cross over, there may be a chance they may have to come back, so they don't want to, so they'll stay here as an earthbound spirit. And that's what she's doing. She understands it because when you do pass away, you do understand more things. You do know more things. You do get all the memories from all the past lives you've had, and you know that they're past lives, and you understand that. So you understand if I had previous past lives, that may be an indication that I might have to come back again. And they don't always want to come back again because you have to come back if you don't fulfill your purpose. But you won't know. Most people don't know if they fulfilled their purpose or not unless they cross over, or if they ask me or someone like me who can find out. But, I can't talk to everybody in the world, but I'm sure I'm damn going to try to. But she didn't want to go. She's content where she is. She has a dog now she always wanted. She's still 12 years old. When you pass away and you remain in the earthbound side, earthbound realm, as an earthbound spirit, you remain the age that you died. So if you pass away and you are 50 years old and you stay there, you will still be 50 years old. You'll be okay. There's no pain. You're not going to have ailments and all that, but you will look 50. Or you will look 89. If you were a crotchety old man your entire adult life, and you remained a negative person, and you didn't cross over into that light, and you remained here as a negative energy, you'll still be 89 years old in that realm. It'll still be hard for you to get around because you're 89. That's what you have to look forward to if you don't cross over. Nobody wants that, but they don't understand that. They think, oh, once I get there, I'll go back and everything will be great. I'll feel great again. You're going to feel like you're 89. The 12-year-old girl feels like she's 12. She looks like she's 12. In heaven, when you cross over, you go back to a prime age, or you go up to the prime age, and the prime age is 30. If you're 79, when you go cross over into heaven, you'll go back to being 30 years old. If you're young, you'll grow up to be 30. It takes a long time to grow up. It doesn't take a long time to go back it takes a long time to grow up in heaven, because there is no space and time in heaven. You don't concentrate on going places. You just are. I don't have to worry about where I'm going to go. I just be. That's all. Time will pass. Time will pass for some of us. Some of us not, because you pass away. But 54 years has passed for me. And it just keeps going by because we live in a realm of time because we created time. If we never came out with how old you were, you would just live and then not live. You would just live and die like everyone does. Dying is not tragic. It's not some crazy thing that might happen, or maybe a tragedy, or maybe horrible. Everyone will die. Everyone in this room that is in here now, you will die. It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. Like I said, the two rules that are in this world. Rule number 1, people die every day. Rule number 2, you can't change rule number 1. So as long as you understand that, respect it, you'll learn to appreciate your life a little bit better because you don't know if you're going to be here tomorrow or not. You may not wake up tomorrow. And if you do, give thanks for that. That's what prayer is for. Prayer is not for asking for more than you're supposed to have. Prayer is for you giving thanks for what you do have. That's what you pray for. You don't pray for, oh, please let my friend live. Well, if your friend is dying somewhere and they are supposed to die, they will just die. It's not that your prayers didn't go unanswered. Just that's what happened because it's supposed to happen. That's all. All right, peeps. It is 11 o'clock. And there's no more questions. So I'm going to end this live stream. I hope everyone has had a good evening. I hope I've cleared some things up for you, brought some clarity to your lives. You can book a reading with me, a personal reading. I can either do it right now because of my foot. I'm not doing anything in person for the next week or week and a half. Because it's hard for me to get around. But after that, I will go back to in-person readings. I don't have a problem doing them. I did one about 3 weeks ago. But for now, I'm doing FaceTime. But FaceTime's okay. I can still do a reading for you. I'm not downplaying it or anything. But I can give you more information. You can get more information. You can get more out of it from an in-person reading. We used to do more in-person readings at festivals, Illuminate festivals, but they have canceled everything until later this year, and they're not even sure if that's going to happen. But I still do in-person readings. I will do that. Start doing them in about another week and a half, and you get more out of that than you will. But you'll get good information. Everyone always gets good information that helps them with whatever kind of reading they can get. I do the Skype ones or the FaceTime ones for people who are far away. But if you can come here and get a reading, that's a better deal for you. My prices are very reasonable. You can go on my page, my site. That I'll put the site up here for you. Slow typer, sorry. Whoops, I didn't even hit the damn thing. I got it wrong. I'm horrible at typing. I do everything by hunt and peck. There we go. It's at spiritmediumdaniel.com. There it goes. See, it'll send you to my website, and you can book and pay for it all at once. It'll put it right on my schedule. It sends me an email letting me know when and what time the email is, or what time the the reading will be. And if you're going to cancel the reading, you have to let me know within 24 hours because I have to prepare for that. I have to make my day as well as you would have to make your day. So it's just what it is what it is. But you can go on there. You can read all about me and how I became what I am and what I do, my backstory. I have a blog on there that I try to keep up with as much as I can. My wife has 2 blogs on there. Like I said, you can find out about what's going on with me through Facebook and Twitter and what's the other one? Oh my God. People messaging me on my phone now. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Patreon. You can subscribe to Patreon, where I do teaching videos about the spirit realm and everything else that goes along with it. There are plenty of ways to get a hold of me. So if you need to get a hold of me for a reading, or you're having some difficulty, I'll help you. And I'll do my best. And like I said, my prices are very reasonable. So it was good to talk to everyone. I'm glad I got to see everyone. I'm glad that I finally got this working. Have a good weekend. Be well. Be safe. More importantly, be aware. Be aware of who's around you and what's around you and what's going on. And try to live within the light. You're all good enough for everything and anything. Believe in yourself. I believe in you. Everyone's saying thank you, and I'm saying you're welcome. Good night.
Then we